There he is. Okay, let's briefly review that territory we went over yesterday. All right. So we were doing these forward and backward circles. Or and the point of these is this is just a very simple. These are simple Lee circles, front to back circles, um, and using the simplest version of what we do all the time to create a chi path. So the two things that you should pay particular attention to are the microcosmic orbit. Let me get my scissors here. All right, so the microcosmic orbit, all the way up, all the way down, either direction. All right. And then the use of the thoracic hinge joint or the thoracic piston. It's not the only thing going on, but that's the core thing going on here. All right. And that's the first move in the form, the first half of the first move in the form. So in old Chen style, it's called village style. In village style, um, you don't do the second circle. It's just this. Grandmaster Feng is the person who added in addition to this, added in this. Why? Why did you do that, Kevin?
So that you just repeat the Qigong part.
Yeah, yeah, it's practice. It's qigong. So our frame of Chen style, because we're doing Chen style, but we're doing a particular frame of Chen style, and this particular frame really focuses on the inner qigong rather than the martial part of things. It's like, yeah, you can use this martially, but what you really want to do is pay attention to your energy body. It's not that they don't do that in village style, they do, but this is a particular teaching regime. So it really focuses on this so you really pay attention. So why would he do that? Why would he have to do that? Because in the old days, village style, Chen style, was taught in a tiny little village of about 1,200 people. Now it's about 2,000 people or 3,000, but it's not a big village. Um, and you would start Tai Chi when you were 7 years old, and who would teach you was your father and your uncles and your grandfathers. That's literally everybody in that village did it. But and that way of teaching worked in that little village. But you take it out into the modern world in Beijing, which has 12 million people or something, and you can't teach it that way anymore because people aren't starting when they're 7 years old, right? And it's not the teaching. The practice field is not your backyard. It's halfway across the city, so it's a bigger deal to go get involved with this. So they had to come up. Master Feng felt that we had to come up with a different way of structuring the teaching and learning situation. And the way to do that, he felt, was really focus on the inner Qigong. And if you can get that, then you can go on and teach yourself. All right? So again, up the front, into the Tanzhong, down the back, press out. Right? Down to the base of the spine, up the back, over the head, down the front, back to the base of the spine. Up the front to the solar plexus, through the body, down the back to the base of the spine. It's very simple. But you literally should be thinking that when you do it. After a while, you don't have to sort of think about it. It's more just feel it. So we've been, this morning and yesterday too, I've been mainly talking about the trunk because that's kind of the heart of this. But actually, every joint in the body should be involved in every movement. So yeah, I focus on the core, but relax everything. All right? Everything's moving. Everything. The wrists and ankles, the elbows and knees, the shoulders and hips, right? And it's all being the beat is coming from the central core, but everything is responding. Right? Everything contracts, everything expands, everything contracts, everything expands. Everything contracts, including your breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And it's the breath work is synchronized with the yin and the yang. Right? When you're going into yin, you breathe in. Breathe in. When you're going into yang, you breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So it's actually very simple. It's a very simple system. It's very natural. Think about this. When you're doing a yang motion, yang, try it. Try to do it. Try to do it the wrong way. Instead, you should be breathing out. Right? Try breathing in when you do that. Go ahead and try it. It just doesn't feel right. Right? It doesn't make any sense energetically. Your body understands it doesn't make any sense to do it that way. When you are expanding, of course you're going to breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Master Feng would say, because in every class somebody would ask him about the breathing, he would just say breathe naturally. But I'm just saying breathe in, breathe out. Is that natural? What Feng was trying to say is don't make your breathing into a mechanical kind of system. All right? Just let it happen naturally. If you're moving that quickly, you can't breathe in really, really, really deeply and then breathe out really, really deeply. You can't do that. What Feng was saying is don't force yourself to breathe in too hard or breathe out too hard. Right? If you're moving quickly, then your breathing is going to be relatively shallower, just naturally. Right? You don't have time to. If you're going to move real slow, then you can do the Qigong deep breathing. But if you're moving more quickly than that, you can't do that. You will hyperventilate. So you breathe in the right pattern, but you just breathe naturally. If this makes any sense. Okay, this is the basic yin and yang of Tai Chi. If you can grab these simple ideas and then follow them and teach yourself as you go through the form what's going on, then you will actually conquer the form. The teacher cannot do it for you. It just doesn't work. So what the teacher's supposed to do is teach you the basic principles and then say, okay, go apply them. So let's go on with the first move. Now I'm going to stop there because these two circles are shoe circles, or side to side circles. The next move after that is not a shoe circle. So let's just take a look at the shoe circles here. All right. Okay, I guess I'm stuck with this. All right, so we've got a clockwise and then a counterclockwise shoe circle. So the first thing you should ask yourself as you are training yourself is, what are the yin and yang cycles hidden within this movement? Is it just one? Is it two? Is it three? Is it four? What is it? Sometimes those decisions are absolutely locked into the movement. Sometimes they're a little bit arbitrary, and it's just up to you to make a decision about what it is you want to do. All right? Let's keep it really simple. So the simplest way to think about this is each circle is a yin and yang cycle. Wind up and push. Wind up and press. Two yin and yang cycles. One, two. Now, the next question is, how do you actually accomplish each of those circles? Not with your physical body, but with your energy body. What your energy body does depends on your mind, depends on the picture that you've got in your head. What are you doing? What is this? 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 Okay, I asked you that many times because each quadrant of a circle requires something different from your mind and from your energy body. That is not dogma, that's just an observation of the way the world works, right? Watch. Those are two different movements. They're going to require two different ways of moving your energy body. So when you do this, what are you doing? And when you do this, what are you doing? It's not the same thing, right? I think I've said before in here, probably many times, every Tai Chi circle has 4 energies in it, yes? 4 energies. Catherine, what are the 4 energies? Rand, what are the 4 energies?
Pang Luan Ji.
Yes. Pung. Pung. On. Pung. Lu. On. Ji. Peng Lu On Ji, they're not magical. They're just descriptive, right? They're just describing something. So it would be the equivalent of saying left, right, up, down. Those aren't magic. they're just descriptive. What is Pung? Kevin, what is Pung energy?
It's expansion.
Expansion. The center is expanding. It's expanding in every direction, right? And you take advantage of that. In this case, to go over here. Could be go over there. Could be go down there. You can expand downwards just as well as you can expand upward. When you do, as we will do a little bit later here, when you do this move, that's Pung. That's on. Right? Pung, expand, expand. Well, what do you mean expand? How do you expand? Well, first of all, you have the idea of expansion in your head. I'm expanding. Everything is expanding. It's like I'm blowing up. All right? And you can literally do that with your physical body, with your spirit, with your energy body. You're expanding. All right? Let me ask you a question. Does this look like expansion?
No.
Or does this look like expansion? Exactly. This is just a thing that human beings can do, right? Pung, expand. Right. What is this one? Kevin, what's that one?
Press down.
Press down, which is what in Chinese?
On.
On. On. Someone comes in and puts their hand on you here, right? And sometimes sort of hard to do, right? One thing you can do is on. 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 Now, you have to understand what on really is. Most people at the beginning think that on is pressing down from your shoulders. That is not right. If you try to do that, it won't work. It's something that has to happen from the core, from the center. Pung is expansion from the center. On is pressing down from the center. It's the center that's going down, and that's what lowers your hands. So remember that this language is a kind of coded algorithm. When I say that the center is going down, watch my lower body. Yes, the chi's going down to the center, but then it continues all the way down to the bottom of the feet. Now, it's not necessarily like this, all the way down. It's just an energy that goes down. Chen Shang, I think, had a great metaphor for understanding this, and I think you guys you've heard this before, but I'm just going to say it again. Imagine you're standing in a pool of water up to about your own hip joints. There's a beach ball floating in here, and you put your hands on the beach ball, and now somebody drains the water out of the pool, and your hands just follow the ball as the ball sinks down. You're not pressing it down from your shoulders. You're just following it down. This will tell you two things. One, it'll tell you what I just said, that it's your core, it's your body falling. This is the water, right? The water is falling. Your hands just sort of follow it. The other thing you can learn from this is how light the Tai Chi touch is. You don't grab somebody and try and force them down. You just touch them lightly. Lightly. And that seems like, well, what's that going to accomplish? Trust me, it works. All right? You have to get a lot more sophisticated in what you're doing, but it will work. All right? It's very light. Years ago, back in 2001, when Master Feng came, and Chen Shang came with him, and Chen Shang and I were doing a bunch of push hands together. And when he would touch you, his touch was as light as a butterfly. It was not heavy and strong. If you push hands with all the American guys, it's like trying to wrestle with a pig. Right? They're just right? Chen Shang was very light, very delicate. Because when you're really tough and you really press, that's the equivalent of shouting energetically. And when you shout, when you're busy shouting, you can't hear anything except your own shout. The secret to Tai Chi push hands is to listen to the other guy's energy, to listen to the energy between the two of you. Right? And so you have to be quiet so that you can hear. And that includes your physical body. It can't be all tense and shouting and pushing and no, it's very quiet. It can get tough, right? But it comes out of quietness. Okay, pump on. Now what's this one? Catherine, what's this one?
Pong.
Yes, pump again. Pump on. Pump. What's this one? Ran, what's this one?
Lu.
Lu. Pung is expanding. On is dropping down. Lu is turning on your own axis. All right? Watch. Just a minute, Kevin. Watch. Lu. Lu. Can you see that I'm turning on my own axis? Lu. Lu. Now wait a minute. Watch. What's that?
Lu.
Yeah. It's exactly the same. You're doing the right side and the left side at the same time. Energetically, when you do both, energetically, you're turning in both directions at the same time. And in the physical plane, that cancels out. So the body, the physical body doesn't turn, but the energy body is going both to the right and to the left at the same time. All right, that's like the next level. All right? But the very beginning of the form. All right, what's the very beginning of the form? What's this energy? Kevin.
Pong.
Pung. What's this energy?
Lu, redirection or rollback.
Yeah, roll back. So often translated into English as roll back. But I don't like that, so we just stick with the Chinese. All right? Peng. Lu. What's this energy?
Han.
What's this energy?
Qi.
Qi. All right, what is Qi energy? All right, here's an example of Qi energy. All right? That's Qi energy. What is it? Energetically, inside, what are you actually doing?
Squeezing.
You're squeezing. This is very counterintuitive until you think about it. Right? When you punch, that's an energy coming out. How do you create that energy coming out? You squeeze. Squeeze, and you leave one little place. Here, hold on a minute. I'll show you. This is my toothpaste. All right?
Malcolm, is this a sponsored ad?
Yes, this is a sponsored ad. Arm & Hammer Complete Care. Right? This is my toothpaste. If I want the toothpaste to squirt out here, I can't just do this. It doesn't come out. All I got to do is squeeze that tube and that toothpaste is going to fly out, right? That's exactly what it is. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to clean it up. So Peng is expansion. Lu is turning on your own axis. An is pressing down. Ji, right, is condensing inside. Condense, expand, turn, drop, condense, right? Oh, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a circle. Peng, Lu, An, Qi, right? Or, right, could be just the opposite. Peng, Lu, An, Qi. It's very simple. So you're going to know a lot about what your energy body is doing by understanding which of those four you should be doing at any particular point in any Tai Chi circle. We're talking about the trunk and the arms, but it's also true for the legs, right? Peng, Lu, An, Qi, right? Peng, Lu, An, Qi. It's exactly the same. So every part of the body can be doing that. Watch my elbow. All right? Peng, Lu, An, Qi. Peng, Lu, An, Qi. All right? Every part, every joint in the body can express these energies. So, back to the form. Peng. Peng. All right, I'm expanding. What does that mean about the energy channels? Earlier in the hour, we were talking about the different energy channels. So you come up the Renmai to the Tanzhong, and then you drop down the Dumai to the Mingmen, and then you press out. Okay, so now we're talking about the energy channels. Suppose I'm doing Peng here. What energy channels should I be using? Ran.
For that one,
Yeah. Pung.
that's Pung.
Yes, it's Pung, but what energy channels in here do I use?
Oh,
Kevin,
Run my.
it would depend on what it is you're trying to accomplish. But in general, right? In general, you're going to start at the Ming Men and you're going to go to the Tanzhong. And in that case, you're probably going to be coming up the Dumai, not the Renmai. So I'm coming up the back. Now, when
That's
I do,
counterintuitive.
what's that?
That's counterintuitive.
Why?
Just because I feel it coming up the front, not the back, maybe because my back is.
Okay, so now here's the point. Kevin says he felt it coming up the front. So for him, that movement is coming up the front. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm just saying, for Kevin, his picture in his mind is it's coming up the front. Because the picture in his mind is it's coming up the front, it will come up the front. All right? It doesn't mean it's right. It also doesn't mean it's wrong. So what do you do to decide whether it's right or wrong for any given application? You do some push hands with a partner and you try to see, does it work a particular move? Does a particular move work with that picture? What's the other option? Well, if it doesn't come up the Renmai, that would have to come up the Dumai. Or it might come up the Chongmai in the center of the body. So you might say that this is one side and the Dumai is the other side and the Chongmai is in the central, because that's what it means, right? You could try all three of those. Try it and see what happens. And it will probably, try it a few times, it'll probably should become very clear to you what works and what doesn't. Catherine.
It doesn't depend also on what you finished the last move before this one. For example, this one, the energy is in the back. So to me, obviously it was coming from the back when you come up.
Well, that's probably the easiest way to think about to do it and to think about it. It's the way I do it. But it would kind of depend a little bit. It's possible, right? It's possible that you might want this in the front, right? For whatever reason. So let's say you want to do that. So you're right, Catherine. When you're sinking down to the back. But when you sink down to the back, you can scooch under your crotch and come up the front again very easily. So it's possible to do it that way without any problem. All right? And you need to know that because sometimes you're going to do that. But let's just keep it really simple for today. Up the back. Now, what is this one? Down. Up the back. Down the what?
On the back.
Kevin, up the back, down the what?
On the back.
I mean, you're going to the back. I just think it still goes the front.
Another way to think about this is opening and closing. So that's opening. Pung is an opening move. You're opening everything, right? Pung, you're opening. When you're doing on, you're closing. Feel your back when you open. You can feel your back stretching and opening. Now, feel your front when you're closing. You can feel it close. Usually, that's the way it goes. It doesn't have to go that way all the time. You can do it just the opposite. Keep in mind that what we're talking about is the microcosmic orbit. It's a complete circle. The circle is going to open in the back and close in the front. Now, it's possible to run the circle the other direction and open in the front and close in the back. You can do either one. The very first move, you do it that way. If you just pay attention to the microcosmic orbit, open in the front, close in the back. Open in the back, close in the front. Open in the front, close in the back. Either way is okay. But you need to know for every circle what it is you want to do in that circle. And what you want to do is move effectively, which is why it's great to have a push hands partner to practice this with. Nevertheless, you can get this without a push hands partner if you pay attention. Open in front, close in back. Open in front, close in back. Open in front, close in front. Open in front, close in back. Open in back, close in front. Open in back, close in front. You can feel it. So you're just sort of following the natural flow of things. Let's go on to the next part of this. So we've done the first clockwise circle. Now we're going to do the counterclockwise circle. Wind up, clockwise, pung, lu, an, ji. Wind up, pung, lu, an. There's not much ji in there. It's mostly on. The first clockwise circle, watch. Pung, lu, an, ji, you're pushing out. Right? The counterclockwise circle, pung, lu, an, you're pressing down. So there's not much ji in there. A little bit of ji, but not much. Yeah. Another way to think about all this is for every move there's a recipe. You need to know the recipe, or you'll end up making a completely different dish. And it's not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that other dish, it's just not the one you're supposed to be doing. All right, Kevin?
For me, it's like peeling an onion, except that I don't get a full layer off. I get a piece off. And then you got to put stuff together in a completely different way.
I'm sorry.
You know,
I'm sorry, everyone. I need to go. I want to hear the results. I'm really anxious. So.
Okay. Good luck. Let us know what happens.
Yeah. Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao. So the and next week we'll go into this one, which is much shorter but much more difficult. Okay. All right, guys. I think the class is over for today. All right, guys. You have yourselves a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.